Hey, what's up, everybody? It's What's Up Wednesday right here on Fiverr Talks. My name is Joel Young, as always, and today we're talking about fraud on Fiverr. Does fraud happen? How do you avoid it? And should you be scared when selling on Fiverr about fraud? We'll talk about all those things and more in today's video. That's right, today we are talking about fraud on Fiverr, and if I'm breaking news for you that there are bad people out there who try to steal and take things that aren't theirs, then welcome to the world. This is just where we live. It's unfortunate. It's not something fun to talk about, but it's a reality that there are people out there trying to defraud systems, steal things from people, and get something for nothing, which is not fair. But today we're going to talk just a little bit about a certain type of fraud on Fiverr. But I think the first thing we need to do is admit that it exists. And it's a part of the real world. It's not unique to Fiverr. It's not Fiverr's fault. It's just out there and it's in the world. So I know that there is several different types of fraud that could happen on Fiverr. There is the type of fraud where someone steals your work and passes it off as their own. I've personally had this happen to me. People steal my gig videos, say, hey, I did this, hire me, I'll do it like that. And I guess people figure out it's not how they do it when they deliver because they're not as good as what they stole. But that's a whole different topic, and I'm going to put that over here because that's really a hard thing to tackle. How to keep people from stealing your work. It's just a hard subject to tackle. What I want to talk about today is buyer's fraud. And this is something that many sellers worry about with good reason, but I don't think is as big of a concern as many people believe it to be. Here's what buyer's fraud is in a short, simple definition. Someone purchases your services, they have you complete work. When you deliver the work, they claim that they don't like the work and they ask for a refund. You then refund them, they get their money back, but they still have the original work that you created and sent back to them. So are they going to use that or aren't they? If you've been on Fiverr for any length of time, you know that sometimes you do work that people don't like. And there's a possibility that they could defraud the system by claiming they don't like the work and getting a refund, but then actually going out and using the work. Now, as a guy that has completed more than 13,000 gigs on Fiverr, I can honestly say there has been one or two times that I was suspicious that this is what the person was doing. One or two times out of 13,000. So let me just put your mind at rest right there and say tons and tons and tons of work and only a few instances, and that was many years ago when I was working with much cheaper buyers, which is another thing we'll talk about towards the end of the video, so stick around to the end. But only a few times I really believed this to be happening, and there's really no way to prevent it when that sort of thing is the intent of the buyer. There is the avenue that I had taken in the past where you can go to their website, check their YouTube channels, their social media, see if they're using, because if you do catch someone using work that they purchased from you but then got a refund for, you can report that to Fiverr and say, hey, look, they actually did take that. I'm not sure if it would get you your money back because I've never actually gone through that. I'm not sure if that would work, but that is at least one course of action, one course of recourse you could take if you believe somebody is defrauding you and you are in that situation. But today, basically what I want to do is give you some tips for how to avoid fraud to begin with, how to really stop it before it starts, because like I said, there's really not much you can do. If somebody intends to defraud you, plays that system, lies their way through it, there's really not much you can do unless you go out and find proof that they're using the work, which they'd have to be really dumb to do, but they'd also have to be dumb to sit there and lie and defraud the system. So maybe they do. But I think the best way to avoid that situation is to avoid fraudulent situations and scenarios altogether, if that makes sense. So I'm going to give you 4 ways that I think you can avoid fraud. 4 things that I think will help you to stay on the straight and narrow and away from buyers that might do that kind of thing. And a lot of these are going to be subjective, meaning it's going to take your discernment, your opinion, your gut feeling to iron them out and to get through them. But as a business owner, which you are if you're a seller on Fiverr, you are CEO and COO and everything else of your own business, you need to develop that gut. that gut feeling that when something doesn't feel right, it might not or probably isn't right. So here are 4 tips that I have for you to help you avoid buyer's fraud and stay clean on Fiverr so you make sure that you're paid for all the work that you do. The first thing is, don't work with fishy people. Boom. Revelatory, I know. This is a gut thing. When you are conversing with someone, if you're exchanging messages and they're flighty, they just seem to ask a lot of weird questions, be concerned about a lot of strange things. They seem different than the other buyers that you've interacted with. It might be time to distance yourself from this buyer before they place an order. You know, there's a lot of buyers that have given me signals over the years that when I get to the end of the project and I have a problem, I say, you know what? I should have picked that up back there. I knew that something was off and I should have picked up on it, but I ignored it because I wanted to place the order, I wanted to make the money, and at the end of the day, the hassle or the difficulty that they put me through would have been worth it to give all the money back just to not have that hassle in my life. Don't work with fishy people. If people seem off, if people seem like their agenda or their questions are away from the normal scheme, don't mess with them. Just say, you know what, I don't think I'm right for this project, and move on to the next one. Work with people that seem legitimate, people that seem respectful. Work with the right clientele. Qualifying your clients is the best way to avoid any kind of fraud or issue. And when you're working with unqualified clients, just because you're desperate to make a buck or desperate to get a rating, it's probably going to lead you in wrong directions all the time. So make that your first goal, not to work with fishy people. Second, you should document everything and stay professional, meaning that when you're having an issue with a buyer, somebody wants a refund on work you've done, try to get details from them. Try to make sure that they have down in writing everything. They can't just be vague. They can't just say, hey, I don't like this, give me my money back. Make them be detailed. Hey, what don't you like about it? Can you bullet out and list everything that I could change about this to make this better for you? Not only will that help you with edits and revisions, but it will help you to document their feelings. And if they're being belligerent or vague or not giving any good reason, that's ammo for you. And that documentation is going to help you when you're talking to customer support. And that would be my third piece of advice. Get customer support involved early. Go talk to them as soon as you feel like there's an issue. Even if you have a suspicion, say, I feel like this person might be doing this, what should I do? And Fiverr customer support should be able to help you. Now, I'll be the first to tell you that customer support is not going to step in and immediately solve all of those issues. If you have a buyer that's requesting a revision or wanting to cancel, they'll say, we can't make someone accept something. We can't make someone not cancel. That's just a part of the process. They can do that if they want. Ultimately, there is very little customer support can do. But if it does turn out to be a provable fraud scenario, customer support needs to be involved in that process early and not all the way at the end, and everything needs to be documented and nice and organized for them. Stay professional. Don't go and use manipulation or something that would disqualify customer service from helping you. Follow all the rules, be up on the terms of service, and make sure that you're documenting everything through messages and being clear in your communication. If somebody gets nasty with you, don't stoop to their level. Don't get crazy with vengeance and send a nasty message. Let that message simmer and then try to get everything to customer support, and they'll help guide you on what you could possibly do. And the fourth tip, this is for people who run visual gigs like myself, or maybe even sometimes audio gigs like myself. You should watermark everything. And this is something that there's an option for on Fiverr. You can click the watermark item to where it has a Fiverr watermark on it until they accept. Then they get the unwatermarked version. But certainly if you're turning over logos to people that are like drafts or files, always watermark them, because someone could get all these drafts or all these versions and in the end say, no, I don't like any of these. And they got like 10 logo designs that you did for them, unwatermarked. So don't just turn things over. Watermark your visual property until it's their property, then send them the clean copies, and just be clear about that's what you're doing, that once they accept, they'll get the clean copies, no watermarks or anything. Like I said, there is no foolproof way to avoid fraud. There are bad people out in this world, but it is not something unique to Fiverr. It's not a reason not to use Fiverr, because Fiverr has just as much fraud as anywhere else. I don't have statistics to back that up, but I will say that the internet is full of fraudulent people and fraudulent activity, and I don't feel like Fiverr is an exception to that rule, that there's tons of fraud and tons of horrible people. All of these things you might be led to believe by others who are naysayers. I am here to say, nay to the nay. You can do it. Hey, thanks so much for joining me for this video. I am so appreciative and so love this community. Leave me a comment. Let me know who you are and what you're doing here, what you're selling on Fiverr. We want to hear all that stuff. And if you're not a subscriber already, hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button if you like this content. Or if you don't, still hit the like button. I really appreciate it. I do this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, trying to help Fiverr sellers be the best they can be. Monday and Wednesday right here on YouTube. And if you want to go deeper, Friday on Patreon. That's patreon.com/DJ Young, where I give out exclusive resources. Oh, we've got so many good things over there, spreadsheets and outlines and PDFs and exclusive videos every single Friday. So hop on over there if you have questions. I'll be your virtual Fiverr mentor. And until next time, keep doing, because the future favors the doers.